we live in a generation that loves titles, right? CEO, president, influencer, all these titles. And the thought process to me was, and I use a biblical example, the woman in the Bible that was known as the woman with the issue of blood, right? That was a title. Unfortunately, that was what religion and the community gave her. She was known as the woman with the issue of blood. And a lot of times we will either name people by how we first find them, we name them by their problem, or we name them by their success, CEO, president, whatever. And my whole thing has been, especially when I think about the church, what would happen? We call ourselves Christians, you know. What would happen if we began to treat our spiritual life not as a title that we live by or a flag that we wave, but an action that brings us into the very spot of impacting a community? What would happen if our faith was used or seen as action oriented? Then it would destroy hesitation, it would destroy procrastination, and we would see God, I think, send a mighty moving of His Spirit into the workplace and into the communities around our church buildings.
Yeah, and that's something that we always think about as, well, that sounds good, but it's really never going to happen. That's just kind of pie in the sky kind of thing. But really, it's not. If we really believe what we say we believe, and we really believe that the Savior is powerful enough to give us these visions and these dreams and these goals, and if He's given that to us, He's not going to just leave it there. He'll be with us through every step of the way.
Very much so. And I think that we're living in a generation. Look, I've been in ministry 36 years of my life, and I have been the thing where I get to rubbing church people the wrong way is only because I'm in the box, speaking out of the box. And the Lord really, I mean, I went through a really tough time in my own life. And I had to realize you have to step out of a box in order to really be able to have an effective ministry. And the Spirit of God really began to convict me, because I was, I spent, 3 decades plus going into for lack of a better word, into the church box to talk about us getting out of the box. But I wasn't out of the box. And the Lord, I mean, it was literally about a year ago right now, the Lord began to pummel me and say, you know what? You can spend your life talking out of a box, or you can realize there's 8.5 billion people on this planet. And you can either sit down here and look up at heaven and say, hey, God, do something about this mess on this planet. And God leans over the balcony of heaven and says, Brady, I did do something. I created you. Now you go do something in this world that makes an impact in people's lives. And brother, it just nailed me to the wall. And now I'm out. I'm out of the box,
That's awesome. I love to hear it. And Brady Weldon is our guest. He's a speaker. He's an author. He's an evangelist. Here's the new book. It's called The Undoing of Not Doing. You can pick this up just about anywhere, Amazon, Brady's website, or just 1,000 other places.